are Group E, and we are going to talk about the role of business in society. The first and foremost important role for business in society is to create wealth. Businesses create wealth by adding value to products or by providing a service. For example, the manufacturing industry creates wealth by adding value to raw materials and selling them on as finished goods. Similarly, businesses such as hairdressers and plumbers create wealth by charging for or providing a service to customers. Businesses have different reasons for creating wealth depending on their objectives. Some businesses may want to create more wealth in order to expand their business, while others may simply wish to survive in the business environment. When businesses are creating wealth, it causes the economy to grow. Economic growth is good for a country's development as it creates jobs for the people living there. Not all businesses are successful in creating wealth, however, and therefore cease to exist. The economic crash in 2008 caused many businesses to close down, and therefore the economy began to shrink rather than grow. This led to a massive loss of jobs, and people therefore had less disposable income to spend on goods and services, which further worsened the problem. The crisis was caused by banks lending too much money of which repayments were never met. The crash started with the collapse of the US bank Lehman Brothers, before having a domino effect worldwide. This led to a debate over whether organizations such as a large banking corporation like the Lehman Brothers should ever be allowed to become too big to fail, due to the knock-on effect to the rest of the world due to poor management. This is an example, therefore, of a business abusing its role within society due to poor management at high levels. Another important part is ethics in business. Now, what are ethics? Ethics within business are a key aspect in the moral successfulness of a group. It concerns the principled decisions of right and wrong an individual or group takes, which will influence the culture of the company. In many business scenarios, decisions made by anyone acting under the course of employment may result in a short-term profit. However, on an overall scale, their actions were immoral and result in damage to the business image, which can lead to the loss of customers and even more severe actions. Ethics in business concern things such as taking responsibility, for example, in environmental considerations. An action a business could take in this aspect would be the materials they use for their products, or initiatives to improve and combat environmental issues. The definition of ethics in business can be summarized as the study of proper business policies and practices regarding potentially controversial issues. One such example of an ethical behavior a company can display is successful corporate governance. A company which personifies this is Cadbury Schweppes, who regard treating their stakeholders fairly as essential in the success of their company. As a result of their ethical behavior, Cadbury Schweppes were recognized as one of the most admired companies for community and environmental responsibility by Management Today magazine in 2003. This recognition improves their image, and more people will be attracted to conduct business with them. Another example of a company acting ethically is Patagonia, who endorsed in 1985 the 1% for the Planet Pledge, which involves donating 1% of its sales to help save the environment. Nike are a company who have been scrutinized as an example of acting unethically in their persistent and long-standing use of sweatshops. The problem was first recognized in 1991. However, Nike sales were minimally affected and their customer loyalty has never decreased. Microsoft is another company which has a history of unethical behavior. For example, in 2014, when Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella suggested that women shouldn't ask for raises. Many companies that do act unethically are usually found to have done so as a result of greed and selfishness. Many companies can be found to deliberately or misfortunately fall into idealism, which concerns the unrealistic belief in the pursuit of perfection. As a result of this desire, businesses will go to extensive lengths to gain a profit, and as a result can partake in unethical behavior. Another situation which can occur is falling into realism, which is an attitude where the people in the business will accept the situation for what it is, which could lead to a consequence of unethical behavior to deal with the situation in a rash and unplanned approach. Finally, corporate social responsibility. Now, what does being socially responsible mean in business? The corporate social responsibility in business is defined as activities in the categories of economics, legal, and ethical that a business undertakes that contributes to the values and expectations of society. Any business needs to make sure that they embrace business practices that may affect society positively, such as environmental management systems, human resource policies, and a strategic investment for a sustainable future. Companies should always put customers and society in consideration before any business decisions that need to be made. In addition to this, companies are responsible for improving the lives of the employees that work for them and providing them with the resources to fund a quality life that will make them satisfied. Moreover, companies should try to avoid making mistakes and taking actions that may break any regulations that may affect their reputation to avoid any societal dissatisfaction. And to make the right things to satisfy the society, a company can contribute in helping local schools, supporting arts, raising money for charity, and providing food for people in need, so that they can fulfill their societal responsibilities. Now, why would a company be motivated to act socially responsible? Employees demand their companies to be socially responsible. 32% of employees would seriously consider leaving their job if their company gave no or little money to charity. 65% would seriously consider leaving their job if the company harmed the environment, and 83% would seriously consider leaving their job if their employer used child labor. Consumers want better business practices, and when they see that a business is acting socially responsible, they pay more money to the business. A study was published showing that the average consumer will put extra 11 minutes to buy a product that supported a cause. Since then, more data has been released supporting the fact that consumers will adjust buying behavior from average companies to support socially responsible companies. It also creates competitive immunity and makes the business more successful in the long term. If companies do things differently from competitors, such as raise money for charity, fund projects, help the community, then customers will be more open to use this company as they know that some of their money will be going to a good cause. We've been Group E. Thank you for listening.